Council now calls to order a hearing on the conditional use application filed by Horsham Township Water and Sewer Authority on behalf of Louis and Magdalene Polisano for a parcel located at 945 Tennis Ave, Maple Glen in Horsham Township. The application seeks approval to permit construction of connections to the public water system that will cross through zones 1 and 2 of the riparian corridor and serve that property. Notice of tonight's hearings on the application was published as required by the law, and it would be appropriate at this point for Mr. Gilda Walker to enter into the record those documents relating to the filing of the applications and the public notice of the hearing.
Thank you. Township exhibits are T1, which is the submittal letter with the application from the Water and Sewer Authority engineers, Gilmore and Associates. Exhibit T-2 will be the zoning, the conditional use application. Exhibit T-3 is the power of attorney. Exhibit T-4 are the deeds. Exhibit T-5 is the conditional use plan. Exhibit T-6 is the riparian corridor management plan. Exhibit T-7 is resolution number 2025-27 when council established this public hearing. Exhibit T-8 is the letters that went to all property owners within 500 feet of the property. Exhibit T-9 is the letter sent to the Planning Commission requesting their review of the application. Exhibit T-10 is the legal notice of this public hearing. Exhibit T-11 is the proof of publication of the legal notice in the newspaper for this public hearing. Exhibit T-12 is the review letter from the township engineer, Gilmore and Associates. Exhibit T-13 is the review letter from the Montgomery County Planning Commission. And Exhibit T-14 is the review and meeting minutes of the Horsham Township Planning Commission.
If any person present this evening would like party status in either matter, it is necessary to let us know that now. Party status can be granted if you live close enough to the property to be aggrieved by the use proposed. Persons with party status may cross-examine the applicant's witness and may present witness of their own. Only a party may appeal the decision of council in this matter. If you do not request party status, you will still have the opportunity to express your opinion and tell council whether you would like to see the application granted or denied. Is there anyone present who would like party status?
For the record, we see no response.
Say it again with the microphone on. For the record, we see no response. Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to remind those of you who are here tonight that this hearing is being transcribed by a court reporter. Therefore, it is necessary that you not speak unless recognized by counsel. If you do speak, please give your name and address prior to making any comment so that the record attributes your remarks properly. And is the applicant present tonight? Yes. And would you like to have your witnesses sworn in and begin your case?
Speak slowly for name.
Thomas J. Figaniak, F-I-G-A-N-I-A-K.
You solemnly swear or affirm testimony about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is T.J. Figaniak. I'm with Gilmore Associates, representing Horsham Water and Sewer Authority tonight, who is representing the property owners here. Before you is a can to connect the house to the existing water main. This is part of a Navy-sponsored contract. We are directionally drilling this entire service to the house, so there will be very minimal excavation. There will just be digging at pits at about every 500 feet, so our intention is to stay out of the riparian corridor as much as possible. The water main will be crossing it, but but we'll place the pits far back enough that we can just drill and minimal disruption to provide public water to the property.
As council knows too, this is a private well owner, and the well is contaminated with PFAS.
Thank you.
I just have one clarifying question, if it's the appropriate time to ask that. The Montgomery County Planning Commission's remarks include about the county's process for capping wells and ensuring that's being followed. I assume that's the case?
Yes, so the wells will be abandoned. They will be grouted with, and then digging to the top. The homeowner can have their own well pump kept on property, but the well has to be completely gone.
Thank you.
This hearing is now closed, and council will render its decision at an upcoming meeting. Council now calls to order a hearing on the conditional use applications filed by Horsham Township Water and Sewer Authority on behalf of John and Lillian Smith for a parcel located at 22 Meeting House Road in Horsham Township. The application seeks approval to permit constructions of connections to the public water systems that will cross through zones 1 and 2 of the riparian corridor and serve that property. Notice of tonight's hearings on the application was published as required by law, and it would be appropriate at this point for Mr. Gidlea Walker to enter into the record those documents related to the filing of the application and the public notice of the hearing.
All right, thank you. So the township exhibits are as follows. Exhibit T-1 is the cover letter from the Water and Sewer Authority engineer Gilmore and Associates. Exhibit T-2 is the conditional use application. Exhibit T-3 is the property deed. Exhibit T-4 is the conditional use plan. Exhibit T-5 is the riparian corridor management plan. Exhibit T-6 is resolution number 2025-28 that council adopted establishing this public hearing. Exhibit T-7 is the letter to all property owners within 500 feet notifying them of this hearing. Exhibit T-8 is the letter to the Planning Commission chairman asking him and the Planning Commission to review the application. Exhibit T-9 is the legal notice. Exhibit T-10 is the proof of publication of the legal notice in the newspaper. Exhibit T-11 is the township engineer Gilmore and Associates review letter. Exhibit T-12 is the Montgomery County Planning Commission review letter. Exhibit T-13 is the Horsham Township Planning Commission review and meeting minutes.
If any person present this evening would like party status in either matter, it is necessary to let us know that now. Party status can be granted if you live close enough to the property to be aggrieved by the use proposed. Persons with party status may cross-examine the applicant's witnesses and may present witnesses of their own. Only a party may appeal the decision of council in this matter. If you do not request party status, you will still have the opportunity to express your opinion and tell council whether you would like to see the application granted or denied. Is there anyone present who would like party status?
For the record, we see no response.
I would like to take this opportunity to remind those of you here tonight that this hearing is being transcribed by a court reporter. Therefore, it is necessary that you not speak unless recognized by counsel. If you do speak, please give your name and address prior to making any comment so that the record attributes your remarks properly. I note that the applicant is present here tonight. Would you like to have your witnesses sworn in and begin your case?
Yes, please.
solemnly swear the testimony about the gives you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So this is basically a copy and paste of the previous application. This one is a 22 Meeting House. The well is contaminated. The existing private well is contaminated by PFAS. And as part of the Navy contracts with Horsham Water and Sewer Authority, we are proposing to connect the property to public sewer, public water. Again, same directional drilling methods. The well will be capped and abandoned in place and generally paralleling the driveway the whole way. So the use of the directional drilling is a way that we can control the means and methods to minimize any issues or any, minimize the restoration that's required to cross the creek, the preparing corridor.
Okay, are there any questions or comments? Okay. Well, hearing none, this hearing is now closed and council will render its decision at an upcoming meeting. Thank you. All right, I call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So our first order of business tonight is I'm going to announce that Horsham Restaurant Week is September 14th to September 19th. There are 13 restaurants participating, and for more information about Restaurant Week and the participating restaurants, please visit the Township website, horsham.org. Okay. And now I will open it up for opportunity for questions and comments from the public. Seeing none, we'll move on. And the next item up is the approval of minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. This is a voice vote.
All those in
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay, thanks, Brittany. Okay, next up is the treasurer's report. Mr. Gildea Walker, do you want to say anything about that?
Sure. The balance in the general fund as of August 31st, 2025 is $7,226,837.57. For the most part, the activity in all funds reflects budget expectations for August, with revenues in the general fund at 91.57% of budget and expenditures at 58.93% of budget. I continue to be confident that our revenues will match budget expectations this year. However, we continue to monitor our overall revenue that will not be keeping up with our expenses in the near future. For a more detailed presentation of our current financial position, I would refer you to your monthly booklet.
And now we need a motion to pay the bills.
I move to approve the list of checks in all funds from August 28th, 2025 to September 10th, 2025 in the amount of $1,507,143.47 and further move to authorize payment of same. I move to ratify the U.S. Bank credit card transactions for the month of August 2025 in the amount of $11,688.89 and further move to authorize payment of same. I move to ratify checks in the Horsham Township Charitable Fund in the amount of $12,380.98 and further move to authorize payment of same.
Second.
This is a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have to review the zoning hearing board applications to be heard in October. First up is Berner and Alfonso at 1308 Bywood Road, HTZ HB 25-15.
And is there anyone here in the audience for that application? Okay. This is an application in our R2 zoning district. As you can see, they have an existing garage behind the existing house. They would like to, they do have a second story, a partial second story that they have on the existing garage today. They are looking for let me get a pointer here. They are looking to put a second story on this existing garage. This is Bywood Road. And for the father, one of the children live in the house, and they are looking to do an in-law suite, convert the second-story storage area to a in-law suite above the existing garage. and that's the variance that they would need. These are just the plans of what the second story would look like. So again, it is a structure that already exists today. It has a second story on it today, is a storage area, and they would just be converting that to an in-law suite. But they need a variance in order to do that.
Comments from the council? And does staff have a recommendation?
We do have a staff recommendation would be neutral, but with conditions that this could only be used as an in-law suite. It can only be used for a family member. The in-law suite cannot be rented out in the future. The garage beneath it can only be used for the in-law suite, and the existing house, it can't be used for a business and also can't be rented out. Would be conditions that the staff would recommend for you to be neutral.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Okay. All good for that one then? Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Next up, we have Kalpesh Pansuria on 1005 Oak Hill Drive, HTZ HB 25-16.
This is a property on Oak Ridge Drive, our new development, one of our new developments off of County Line in Keith Valley. This is Keith Valley here. This is Oak Ridge Drive here. There's a 50-foot perimeter buffer in the rear of the property, which they're restricted of putting anything permanent in. So they're requesting a variance to put a fence in their rear yard to include the perimeter buffer area. They have in their application said the fence would be a black wrought iron fence, approximately 4.5 feet high, see-through. It wouldn't be a solid fence. The staff always recommends that we need to see through it to make sure they're not doing anything in that 50-foot area, that they like permanent structures in that area. If you recall, a couple years ago, about 2 doors down this direction towards Park Ridge Road, one of their neighbors got a variance from the zoning hearing board for a black wrought iron fence in the perimeter buffer zone along Keith Valley Road. So the staff recommendation would be neutral with the condition that they put up the fence that they say that they included with their application.
Any other thoughts or comments, concerns from council? Okay. I think we're good to move forward on that one then. Next up is MG Property LLC, 732 Norristown Road, HTZ HB 25-17.
As everyone knows, the property that we're talking about at 732 Norristown Road is what everyone refers to as the Key Bank Building at Welsh and Norristown Road in Maple Glen. Key Bank does not own that building, nor do they own the property. They are a tenant. And I can say everything, but their attorney and engineer here this evening, so instead of them repeating what I say, I will turn it over to them.
Thank you. Kristen Pianzio from Hamburg, Rubin, Mullen, Maxwell, and Lupin. I'm here with Justin Giannetti from Dynamic Engineering. Sorry, Justin. My client, Anthony Diver, is behind me. He's a principal with the owner entity that owns this property. So the Key Bank corner is actually 2.82 acres in total. The building is about 11,090 square feet. And Key Bank has come to Anthony saying they no longer need 11,090 square feet. They have about 2 employees that operate in the building. They've asked to reduce their lease size to approximately 3,790 square feet. But they are there for 10 years. So what we're asking for is to repurpose the remaining 7,300 square feet of the building and then adding 4,136 square feet And we do have some plans to show you. Can we start with the aerial? If you go with the site plans first, Bill.
Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah, this one. Okay, so as you all know, it was working. Thank you. One of these days, Bill. Okay, so the townhouse development's going on here, the Maple Glen townhouses, and they are doing road improvements, as we all know, down here at the intersection, and they're doing them right up against this ultimate right-of-way line. But with that, they're bringing sidewalks here along the edge. So we met with staff and talked about, what we want to do here. Along with the addition, we have to add parking, and that's basically why we're here. It's a parking variance because we can't fit the amount of parking that the code requires. Can you go to the next slide? So what we want to do is do something with this property that's in furtherance of your comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan looks at the Maple Glen area as a pedestrian destination. And when we discussed these ideas with staff, we were reminded that sidewalk is really important. So we've shown the sidewalk, and understand if we get through zoning, we would come back through the land development process, go back in front of Planning Commission, come back to you folks to, seal this up. But we know that we would be putting sidewalk in, extending what the townhouse development's doing along the frontage and getting it to the property edge. We would install the lamps. We have room for 6. I know it's 1 every 85 feet. And I think it calls for 7, but we have some pinch points. We did submit a new plan today that showed where we could fit them because the right-of-way goes inside the property here, and we have to stay out of PennDOT's right-of-way with any of the street lamps. But we can accommodate 6 of them along the frontage, and we could show that on the other plan. Another thing we wanted to do, because it's so tight in that there's not a lot of frontage to play with in order to beautify it, because my client wants to make this an attractive place. We want people to walk here. We've anticipated maybe a patio area outside. We don't know that there will be a patio. We don't know who the tenants are. We need the zoning in place to attract people who would be interested. No one will talk to us about leasing this space without the zoning being in place. It's a chicken and egg situation. But we wanted to have a patio so that we could have that walkability and have that connection to the street like the comp plan contemplates. So we took out some of this paving. If you remember, the Key Bank has a lot of concrete in front. So we took out some of this concrete to put some landscaping in here to soften this frontage. We've added landscaping here. And then we added tables and umbrellas there to make it more attractive to people who want to come and stay. Staff also said to us, how about an easement for a connection so that in the future, should this redevelopment take hold and we would be the catalyst for redevelopment down the street, we would like to have a way for people to not have to go in and out of Welsh Road. So we're able to do that. The exact location, I think we would want to do during that land development process so the engineers can get a look and see where we would provide that easement, but it would probably be back here somewhere so it wouldn't interfere with this drive aisle. But we wanted the engineers to have a look at it so that it would be properly placed. But we're agreeable to doing that, so that would be a condition that we would agree to. Do you have the plan that was sent to you today by Brian?
The 7 pages?
The
Oh,
rendering plan.
just the one.
The one that shows the lamps. Yeah, that's the
this-
one. So we have a lamp here. Yeah, if you zoom in. I liked it better when he did it with a marker. Here, Justin.
Sure. So we went through, and as we mentioned, the right-of-way does run right along the front of the existing drive aisle for the parking lot, which is to remain. Obviously, we're going to keep the drive aisle, we're going to keep the parking. the existing bank and the structure is going to remain there, so everything's going to remain in place. And you'll see there's only limited availability for putting those streetlights, pedestrian lamps outside of the PennDOT right-of-way. So what we're doing is we're spacing them where we can in these areas. There's going to be one here, one here, one here, one here, here, and then at the entrance. And that should give really that gateway feel that as you drive in, you're going to see the lamps as you pull into this I'll call it like the gateway to the Maple Glen area here.
So just location, since we're talking about location, is there going to be like one here and one there?
So,
Two in that section?
Bill, we're going to try to put one there, obviously with the signage and the visibility
yeah.
around the corner. It may get a little
Yeah.
tight with utilities coming into the site, but there's definitely going to be one here coming off of the new townhouse community, and then one immediately adjacent to that drive aisle. And you'll see we can fit one into the corners, like anywhere you see a little patch of green. We want the sidewalk to be there. We want street trees to be there, and we know I think we by the spacing requirement, it's approximately 7 that's required. We can fit 6. If we can fit 7 during land development, we will. But we want to be realistic with what's feasible.
So by your standards, based on the linear frontage at 85, it requires 7. So we might fiddle with the spacing because of the pinch points, but we can accommodate them.
Okay.
Something we can talk about. But those crosswalks are being installed as part of the road improvements that the townhouse development's putting in. So we can connect to that handicap ramp that's at the corner. So the sidewalk connection can be made there, and then we can go in each direction. So it's nice that we're able to, finish that connectivity at least around our property and get people moving down, towards the CVS, and hopefully we can see a domino effect with redevelopment as we move down towards the other end of the triangle. So the other element of our variance is the size of the parking stalls. The existing parking is 9 by 18. The code requires 10 by 20. So we have an existing nonconformity that doesn't need relief, but we'd like to do 9 by 20 on the new spaces. What you see in the dark gray is the new parking that we're going to install. And we are able to landscape that nicely around the back there. And along the front, you'll see that we were able to install some landscaping too. All of that would be worked out during land development, but we wanted to give you an idea of our effort to make this look nice.
How many new spots are you adding there? 20-something?
Correct. Yeah, there's approximately 20 new spots. There's some spots that are being, if you were to look at the aerial, there's some spots which we'll call a little bit inefficient that we're trying to relocate for efficiency that pick up some additional spots in the back. But I think there's going to be a net increase of about 20, 25 spots.
And the nice thing is the bank closes when we hope the restaurant retail would be utilized, like on the weekends and in the evenings. So we think it's a nice blend of uses so that we would have extra spaces and be able to function well. Anthony feels comfortable marketing it with this number of spaces and this layout.
Do you want to show the facade?
If you want to show it, yeah.
I think let's see, what one is it? This one?
Yeah, behind that you'll see renderings. Yeah, so these are views from across the street.
So is what you show in these renderings what the facade's going to look like?
Yes, so what we did is the key bank you'll see here, this is the existing structure along the front here with a facelift, so a new facade treatment along the front. So this is a rendered image worked out with our architect of what this would look like standing at the intersection here at Norristown Road looking at the key bank and the proposed improvements. It doesn't look like this today. This is a proposed render. So if you flip through, you can see some other perspectives too. This is obviously just driving along the surrounding streets. You'll see the landscaping, the sidewalks, you see street lights here. We don't have the pedestrian lamps shown at this point, but we'll get them added. But you'll see how we tried to make this more of a beautiful gateway to the community. And this coming, the new townhouse community just off the page here, driving down, you'll see the signage and the sidewalks going into this is showing the actual proposed road improvements and then obviously the proposed improvements on our site as well. So this is a rendered, real-life looking image of what it's going to be given the land development phase that we'd go through next.
page 7. There you go.
So does the township have any issues with both these entries being entry-exit? Any considerations from township? Are you guys good with that?
We are keeping the existing driveways. That's your first question, right, Wade? And then, Mr. Wade, and then we would like, you want to know if the township engineer has any issues about the ingress and egress?
Yeah, just more curiosity, not going one way or the other right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head the movements that are done today, but with the limited use of the bank right now, right? It's hard to know, what that is. I mean, once you have a traffic study, an impact study, we'll understand more what the numbers are and the movements and whether or not there's any conflicts. But with the upgrades to the signalized intersection there, I would imagine that it should function pretty well, but you'll know that further in land development.
Correct, yeah. We're maintaining the 2 points of access on the site. The use of the site is actually less than what they're permitted for in the current condition. So, and they're spaced as far away as possible from the intersection, so they're in the best spot. But we will be submitting a traffic study and, full, at this point, maybe HOP plans as part of the process.
Right.
The current renderings looks, I'm assuming, has 2 lanes for a drive-through for the bank. Is that existing?
Correct, yes.
Just
So
maintaining?
it's being maintained, yeah. The bank is staying in its location so that we can maintain the drive-through. Drive-through use has enough stacking per code, and based on its existing use, there's plenty of availability in the stacking lanes there, but that is going to be maintained.
This is just a hypothetical. If that was 1 lane instead of 2, if there's only 2 employees in the building, are they getting 2 lanes of drive-through traffic on a regular basis?
So banks operate a little differently now. I mean, some of these ATMs are not even manned. Some of them are ITMs. They're actually automated fully. So we do want to maintain both those lanes. One could function as a bypass too, but that is what the bank requires for operations. And just, it's based on queuing too. It keeps people moving through the line.
Yeah, just looking at if there was any further opportunities for additional parking, but if that's status quo. Thank you.
Sure.
The landscaping you show in the back, this landscaping, is that your property or is that the townhome property?
That is our property and the townhouse property combined. So there is going to be some combination landscaping proposal on the.
It'll be in your land develop. If you get your variances, it'll be in your land development phase. But we do have that ordinance for landscaping between a residential zone and a commercial zone that increases.
Yes,
Just to be aware of
we've.
that.
Even at this early stage, we're only in zoning. Mr. Payon has already reached out to us, and they're already working together on developing that berm so that it actually is a more substantial berm to buffer the 2 uses. So they're already in talks, and we've already have a verbal agreement of what will be planted on that berm should this move forward.
You know what we'll have is headlights.
Yes.
Going into.
He cares.
Yes.
He's already reached out, so
Okay.
we're talking to him.
I was wondering, you would see the street light, the foot candles from the street.
The other thing which we talked about with the applicant at the staff meeting was the vision of council, the vision of the comprehensive plan that we on the Horsham side, the Upper Dublin's on one side, Horsham's on the other side, but at least in our comprehensive plan, we refer to this as the Maple Glen Village, and it was a focus area in our comprehensive plan. So the vision of what we're looking for is nice shops, nice restaurants, village-type feel, village-type character, atmosphere. So would you be agreeable to a deed restriction on your on these, for this building, on certain uses that don't meet the vision of the comprehensive plan, such as check cashing, tobacco vape shops, massage parlors,
Methadone clinics. Laundromat, car wash,
Yes.
outdoor storage, car sales. I think I have it memorized by now, but yeah, we're familiar with the things that probably wouldn't be appropriate for this
They're not
village.
Not attractive to this location.
Yes, that would be fine.
we can work that list out
Yes.
with Dave, myself, and you. But, okay.
Yes.
And staff?
The staff recommendation would be neutral. In fact, it's I'm going to go through the list of conditions, but it's pretty exciting since you just adopted our comprehensive plan in June, and here we sit in September, and I thank the property owner for coming in, understanding our vision, understanding the comprehensive plan for this area of our township, and trying to meet that vision with what he has shown us tonight. I know he still has land development to go through, but this is the first step to the zoning hearing board. So the staff recommendation would be neutral with the condition that sidewalks are put in as shown, that the street lamps are put in, I wouldn't say as shown, but 6 or 7 street lamps, pedestrian lamps, they're not street lamps.
Right, pedestrian.
Pedestrian lamps, that for the most part, what they showed us in these renderings to include the facade, that's what happens, that's what it looks like. The connection for future parking, did you have a conversation with your next door neighbor?
We have tried to reach out to them, but we haven't made contact yet.
Okay, because that's the vision of the comprehensive plan, to make this work between the CVS and this property, is to make these driveways connecting. Like this is all doctors and dentists' offices in here, so in the evenings, Saturdays and Sundays, these spaces are empty. So the idea in a comprehensive plan is to get that connectivity, and for the vehicles, so they don't also have to pop out here and then pull in here and then pop out, go in there, and so they all get connected, not only with pedestrian, with sidewalks, but they also have connectivity for vehicles. So if you stop in here for, I don't know, lunch at the restaurant, and then you have to pick up your prescription at CVS, you can just drive right down a rear driveway rather than having to pop back out onto Welsh Road and go down to the CVS. So the easement would be another condition the staff would recommend, and the uses that we just talked about that don't meet the vision of the comprehensive plan, that they be deed restricted from happening on the property.
Good?
Okay. All right, thank you. Yep. Hopefully we'll see you during land development. Thank you.
You're here.
Yeah, I'm going to stay.
Stick around.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Nicholas Della Vecchia, 735 Butler Pike, HTZ HB 25-18.
This is a property right down the street from what we were just talking about at Butler Pike and Welsh Road. And again, Kristen has this application, so instead of me telling you about it, she can
Earn her
take it.
keep.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sitting here with Nick Della Vecchia. He is the owner of the property along with his wife. John Richardson is here. He is our engineer. And hang on, let me just pull up my notes here.
John, can you press there you go.
Okay. So we come here for 2 reasons. One is for something we discovered that was done wrong on Nick's property, that we discovered by him submitting his pool application. And Nick can elaborate, but when was this done?
May 16th.
So back in May of 2024, Nick went to the township and got a permit for a basketball court on his property. He went down, he made the application, they called him, he had to register the contractor. He went back, registered the contractor, paid for the permit. He hired the contractor, he paid the contractor, had a plan drawn, handed the contractor the drawing. Can we use the photos? Can we start with the photos for this one?
Okay.
That's a separate one that I sent you. So he handed the contractor the plans with where the basketball court was supposed to go, and the contractor was pouring the concrete. Once the concrete was poured, other people came in and finished the court. The guy poured the basketball court in the wrong location.
These aren't going to be as nice as what you sent me, but
Yeah. So, there it is. And it's significant. It costs tens of thousands of dollars. And we only found out because he filed a pool permit, and Kelsey, who's the zoning officer, went, wait a minute, why is that basketball court there? It's not supposed to be there. He poured it, we think he measured, instead of from the edge of the riparian corridor, he measured from the edge of the property line. Nick and his wife own the lot behind this lot. And we think he measured from the street of Welsh Road instead of from the right-of-way of Welsh Road. So this is one reason why we're here. We figured we better ask for this too. This basketball court is too close to Welsh Road, and it is in the riparian corridor 2, the second riparian corridor. And this is what it looks like. If you could back up one photo, standing behind that basketball court towards the rear of the property, this is the backyard of the property. It is grass, but standing here, going straight along the rear of this property, and then turning left, you have a Zone 1 and a Zone 2 of a riparian corridor. So there's 75 feet of his backyard, although it looks like grass. You know, the tornado came through here and basically changed the complexion of this backyard. But these restrictions still remain on the property. But I wanted you to get a look at it. It looks like grass, it functions like grass, but it's not technically grass according to the code. So the next photo is the basketball court from the aerial. If you could just scroll down again, and then we'll get to the pool. And that's it from this. So it has its own surface, so the water drains down. There's stone along the edge. It's significant, because I said, Nick, can we move the basketball court? And he was like, no. And there was a panic. So if we get this relief, his kids will be on this court every day for the rest of their lives. So next photo deals with the next area of relief. So this is the backyard. They are proposing a pool and a cabana in the backyard. We're asking for grading in Zone 2 of the riparian corridor, and just grading. We've pulled all structures out of Zone 2, we pulled the fence out of Zone 2, but you're not even allowed to grade in Zone 2. But what we're willing to do is plant a bunch of very good plants that will help filter the Zone 2 that don't exist today. So it's our argument that it will be better when we're done than what exists today. So with a drone and spray paint, Nick laid out the pool and the cabana, and you can see that this is where it is located in his backyard. As it exists, as you can see, it's not far from the house. They pulled it close to the house, and just looks like grass. But behind that is where the riparian 2 starts, Zone 1 and 2. So now we can go to the plans, which will show you what the rules are. So that funky dimension that you see behind the house, that is the area of disturbance. That is, I got this one. Oh, no, did I give it back?
Yes, Justin gave it back.
So, why isn't it working?
Justin broke it.
Justin broke it. Thank you. Oh, this looks powerful. Okay, yes, all right. So, here's the house. This is Zone 1. This line goes here. And this is Zone 2. Look how it wraps around this house. So, they're not allowed to do anything in this area. And this funny line, that's the area of disturbance. So it's this little area here where there's grading going to happen, and a little grading in here in order to put the pool in and the cabana. So next slide, please. So this is it. You can see the grading lines in here. But when it's done, it'll go just back to grass. They're going to grade it and make it grass again. But what we're adding is all of this landscaping, which John's landscape person in his office at Dumac Engineering put this plan together and came up with a mixture of things that are environmentally sensitive to help filter, any kind of pollutants or, materials that really make it a better situation than what exists today out in this backyard, to make up for the basketball court and for this grading. And when I say make up for, it's really adding plants to create the buffer that is really the intention of this corridor. The corridor is to protect the stream, and now we can install plants that will better protect the stream than what's there today.
Do you have, by chance, a hard copy of this? When we zoom in, it's not legible what the plants might be.
Yep. Oh, he's got a board. But I'll give you mine so you can read the legend.
Give it back.
Pull it out, pull it.
John, can you go through what's shown on there while they look at their, oh, that's a. Readers aren't helping with that either. So the no-mow mix goes along the whole edge, right, John?
Correct. So along here, this area.
Whoops, sorry. I was trying to zoom in on and I'm taking away from the
Zoom out, yeah, the
presentation.
no-mow mix goes along that whole, most of the area.
So the dark green is kind of like the perimeter of the existing woodlands.
Hang on, John.
Yep.
Okay, you guys ready? All right. All right.
You want more time to look it over?
Yeah, if you want us to pause, go ahead.
Just want to shoot on the hoop.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And just put in perspective.
Just a second.
And you guys thought
That's
that
the
was
existing features out there. So you can
Oh,
see
okay.
this is all lawn area. Even where there's trees, it's lawn underneath. and
You're
we'll
so
be
excited to
doing-
pull this out. You're like, I printed this for a reason.
Yes, I brought it for a
Got
reason.
Good engineers always bring boards. In case the power goes out, usually, not for site reasons, but, can you wing it from there, John, or do you need to see it?
No, I
Talk.
can.
Okay.
So even the area where it's dark green is the area where there's currently tree cover. But even the area under those trees is just lawn. And what we propose is the light green area and everything behind this line here would be planted with a seed mix. And this seed mix is a combination of grasses and herbaceous cover. We would not be mowing that. It would be left to grow on its own. Additionally, we're planting 47 shrubs in here. These shrubs are additionally plants that grow in riparian buffers. They like to have wet feet. They can tolerate occasional flooding, and they provide environmental impacts to help negate the upland areas that would be tributary to it. Additionally, we're planting several large trees in here. Once again, those trees are riparian species. They're meant to be down along floodplains. They provide benefits. Especially the large trees are very beneficial in terms of absorbing moisture out of the ground. So it helps to lower the runoff in the area, and it helps with runoff of the important nutrients in terms of riparian buffers are suspended solids, basically mud and stuff, nitrogen and phosphorus. So all these species that we're planting here would help with those. They absorb those nutrients or slow down the suspended solids from running off. In terms of the area that we're proposing to plant with the seed mix and the shrubs is 10,000 square feet. It just happened to work out. It's almost exactly 10,000 square feet. And just to put it in terms, the area that we're disturbing in the zone 2 with grading, which has already been disturbed. When this house was built, that area was already disturbed and it's currently lawn. And we'll return it to lawn. That area is just over 4,000. So we're disturbing 4,000 square feet of previously disturbed lawn area, and we'll restore it to lawn. And we're essentially planting 10,000 square feet of truly riparian species. And it's a triple layer. So at the ground surface, you have the grass and herbaceous cover that won't be mowed. It'll be allowed to grow up. It'll be milkweed and species like that. You have taller shrubs, and then you have over canopy storage.
So, we're asking that you be neutral, and with this plan, we would take this and condition any approval based on these plantings and what we're showing you.
Is the type of seed mix somewhere on the plan? Is the,
Yes, it's on
It
the,
is.
it's on the legend down below that you can't see right there.
If you're curious, Ernest is the seed mix company that almost everyone uses in this area, and it's Ernest 203.
But it is on the plan that you can see, Dave. If you could read it.
I'm just trying to think of a way to identify the mix of seeds to, make sure everybody's on the same page.
I actually have a list here if you're curious of what actual species it is.
Yeah, but there's a chart, and everything's named and labeled. Yep.
You're saying you have a list of what is in that seed mix, though?
Correct. You're welcome to see it if you would like.
You can have it.
Just going to say, as shown on the plan, but yeah, I'll take a look.
Oh, it's big. Big letters.
There's a red mark on that plan, or on that list. The top of it is grasses, and the bottom of it is herbaceous cover, kind of like woody, but not truly shrubs.
Thank you. Does any council want to see the list, or good to give it back?
Just curious what we do in these instances to ensure uptake of all of the new plantings that are planned to occur.
Usually we put an 18-month maintenance period on them, so if they die within the first 18 months of being planted, they have to be replanted. A new one has to take its place.
And is that just the honor system?
No, we can go out to inspect.
Is that an automatic thing, or do we have to say anything about that?
This one, we'd had to put it on our schedule, but land developments are all automatic.
They automatically go out and?
Yes, yep.
Okay. But this one, since it's
This
not
is
land
zoning
development.
only, so it's not land development, so we'd have to have code enforcement and/or Gilmore go out and inspect.
Is that something
We can do that.
note now, or?
We could put it in the notes, but I just tell the staff and they put it on their calendars once the trees are planted.
Okay. Feedback, staff recommendations?
It'd be neutral as long as with the condition that they follow the landscape plan shown tonight to council.
How's that sound to council? John, good?
Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have to consider a resolution for waiver of land development with conditions for McDonald's, 205 Easton Road, 25-09-W, to expand the length of the drive-through.
So as you reviewed that at your last meeting, there's a resolution for your consideration this evening. All the conditions that you asked for to include the 3 new pedestrian lamps along 611, the new streetscaping along 611, the facade that they showed you at the meeting, all of that is built into the resolution, so it is ready for your consideration this evening.
I move to approve the resolution as proposed, approving a waiver of land development with conditions for McDonald's, 205 Easton Road, 25-09-W, to expand the length of the existing drive-through lane.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote.
Just before you do that, I know there's some neighbors here. Bill, do you have any questions? You weren't at the review meeting.
Yeah, the only question I have is,
Just make sure that's on the green light down at the base. There you go.
We weren't notified of the review meeting. When did that take place?
The last council meeting, which was
25th?
August 25th.
Okay.
Yeah. It was when there's a waiver of land development, it's not the same process as land development. So when someone comes in asking for a waiver of land development, it's not the same process. They come to a council meeting. They don't go to the planning commission. Neighbors aren't notified, because most of the time when it's a waiver, as this one is, it's very minor. So there's no notification for waivers.
Does any part of that proposal have account for any cutout into the back of McDonald's into the neighborhood?
No, what they're planning on doing is, if you can picture McDonald's, and I'm sorry I don't have it on my computer this evening, they have the 2 drive-through windows.
Yes.
And then they want to bump out the building right when you're past the second window. They want to bump it out a few feet so it squares the building off, and they want to put another window there. So they're extending the length of the drive-through. They're not adding a second drive-through. And to sort of be more efficient with their drive-through, that's all their business that keeps them going.
Sure.
Is drive-through. So they're doing the whole renovation inside because of the fire. They're decreasing the dining area, but they still will have sit-in if you want to go inside and eat. But the real reason why they were in front of council is because that little bump out, which is about 3 or 4 feet to square off the building, that triggered them to have to come to council and ask for a waiver of land development for that. And they had to move the curb a little bit, so it's really tight. Like if you, like they had to move the curb a little bit, and council asked for a couple conditions to get the pedestrian lamps along 611 that match what's going in front of the Wawa and what our vision is for 611, but no changes in the back. No additional parking, no additional drive-through, no driveways onto Morris or anything.
Got it. Okay.
I have the plan and the map up here on the iPad if you would like to take a look at it as well.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
briefly.
You'll see more when, so you also know, like the concrete on the drive-through, they want to replace all of that, the existing concrete. So when they start working, you might say, whoa, why are they tearing up in the rear? They want to rip out the concrete, the existing concrete for the existing drive-through and put new concrete in.
Got it.
So,
All right.
but
That's
call
it.
me anytime, like
No,
you
that's
see
fine.
something, call me anytime.
Yeah, we just weren't sure what this was totally all about. But.
And I think they probably, with what they've got to do there, I'm guessing, first quarter of next year, they might reopen with the amount of work that they have to do there.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Same thing with the mic. That's cool. Mine's still on.
Hi, yeah. My name's Tom Gormley. I live right behind McDonald's. My address is actually 132 Fair Oaks, but I'm on the corner of Fair Oaks. Yeah, I would love to see that.
I'll bring it around. Yeah, you can stay there.
I'm on the corner of Fair Oaks and Morris.
Yep.
Of course, McDonald's isn't open now. It's quiet and stuff. Are they doing anything with the, like where you take your orders at and stuff like that?
Nope, all that's staying the same.
All right, because that's what I hear all the time. I just hear them coming in there, you want to shake with that, you want to front me, because it's just right there. So that's not going to move, that's not going to go anywhere.
No, that's all.
And they're not adding another one of those.
No, that's staying, and they're not adding another one.
All right. Yeah, because I wasn't aware. I came actually to the meeting last night for some zoning, but I was late, and I saw that's why I saw the notice on the door, and this is the first I've heard about this, you know? And they're not, so all the buffer is gonna be still stay behind there and stuff. All right, I guess no other questions for me, I guess.
And as I told Bill, when they start, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, or give us a call if you have any questions that you're wondering what they're doing or what's happening.
All right, maybe you could just point this out to me.
Yep.
Excuse my.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, I'll have to get back on this, all right? Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep, I thank you.
We're good on the motions, right? We don't have to redo that?
Yep, you have a first and you have a second.
All right, we'll move to roll call vote.
Mr. Clemser, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Wade, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Chunky, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Ms. Leff, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next up, we have to consider the results of the following bids for the pedestrian lamps on Drescher Road between Whitmer Road and Walnut Grove.
These are the pedestrian lamps. I'm going to get it right sometime. But pedestrian lamps, as you know, we put them on Drescher Road between New Road and Whitmer Road. We are continuing them from Whitmer Road down to Walnut Grove Drive. There's 9 street lamps. We opened the bids on yesterday, and we got 4 bids. I'll go from highest to lowest. So JLT Electrical Contractors was $200,022. Carr and Duff, $147,750. AJM Electric, $126,665. And Key Electric Incorporated, $102,394.08. As you see from the Township Engineer's letter, the recommendation for the lowest responsible bidder is Kite and Key Electric Incorporated at $102,394.08.
I move to award the pedestrian lamps on Drescher Road between Whitmer Road and Walnut Grove Drive to Kite and Key Electric Incorporated in the amount of $102,394.08, and hereby authorize execution of the contract for same.
Second.
Been moved and second. This is a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, and then next up, I want to announce that the next Horsham Township Council meeting will be on Wednesday, October 8th, 2025 at 8 p.m. There is no second meeting in September in observance of the Rosh Hashanah holiday, and we wish all those that celebrate Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur happy holidays. And before we close, just also want to announce the Carpenter mark your calendars. Carpenter Cross Bike Race is September 20th, 8 to 4 at Lukens Park. And the Eco-Vent, which is the tree giveaway, electronic recycling, and shredding, will be October 4th, 9 to 11 at the Horsham Township Municipal Complex. And for more information on either of those events, please see the Township website under Township Events. And with that, we'll move to adjourn.